Wake up with
Hello,
Hello,
and welcome to Socially Unsocial.
I'm Patty,
And I'm Danielle,
and we're your hosts.
and we are going to impress you with our mad skills today.
Or not. We're not sure. So, setting the bar too high. I like to keep it low expectations.
That is my motto. I don't know why I set everyone up for such good excitement.
Maybe you'll laugh with us one time.
One time.
I consider that a success.
Yeah, one's better than none.
Sometimes I listen to podcasts and I'm just like, how did we get here? How did we get so off the rails? This is not good. And then I just turn off the podcast. But hopefully ours have been entertaining and exciting, and you never know what conversation is going to lead to what. So that's the real joy of this.
Yeah, and I hope you're actually learning something too, like little takeaways, because I feel like that's what we really wanted to do as well. Like we want to keep it light and fun, but we also want you to walk away being like, okay, I didn't know that.
Or I never thought of it that way. That's my favorite takeaway every time I leave Danielle or just any good convo. I'm like, oh, that kind of hit home. That made me think differently about the situation. Isn't that what life's all about?
It is. That's what I tell children. They should learn something new every day.
Absolutely. At what point do you think people stop feeling that way? What age? In their 60s?
I don't think there's an age. I think it's your mentality. It feels bad saying this, but like when you almost give up. Right?
Ooh.
Like when you don't see life, it's not passion anymore, or you're not excited about things, or everything's just mundane. Like you're just kind of like, I live life, I did it, I'm great, I'm fine, and I'm over it. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or it could be like a sense of people that have really big egos or just super confident in themselves. They're like, I don't need to change. I don't need to learn anything. I feel like if you're not in a season where you're growing and evolving and changing, you're just stuck. And some people think, this is the way I am. This is the way I'm always going to be. Right?
I don't want to say lessen my expectations, but I know when I'm talking to my mother, majority of the time, she likes to, let's say, talk loud. Not necessarily mean she's mad at you or she's trying to outright be a bitch to you, but that's just the way she expresses herself. And she's not good at calmly telling you her opinion. And she knows this. So I've learned to talk to her in a way that was different than I would talk to my dad. Or I talk to my sister differently than I talk to my brother, because they're two different people and they receive information differently.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if we can accept that about the people in our world, it might make our relationships better and easier, right?
Oh yeah, that makes so much sense. I think that you're not like lessening your expectations or totally changing who you are to appease their behaviors. But I think that it's important. You don't have to do that with everybody, but I think it's important to do that with some relationships, and it's important to know which ones to do that with. Family, I'll do that all day long. I will figure out a way. How do I connect? How do I make sense to this person? If I love them enough, I'm going to keep trying, as opposed to that's just the way that they are, and I'm never going to see eye to eye, and we're never going to be able to work through this. It's like, no, it's okay. We'll get there, right? You just have to change the way that you show up for them.
And right. That goes back to one of our mottos, maybe know your audience, right? If you're not a person that loves to laugh, like I ain't wasting my jokes on you.
Wait, if you're a person that does not like to laugh.
Yeah, I feel like there's some people. Have you ever met somebody that you're trying real hard and you're saying things and they're just like, meh. Yeah, not funny, dude.
No, but I feel like you're thinking of all your Uber drivers. You're like, I'm not wasting any more jokes on this guy.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling.
What more could I possibly do? No, I think you're one of the rare people that tries to get other people to laugh, that you would even notice people not wanting to laugh. I'm just like, you just don't think I'm funny. Cool. And I like leave it at that.
I came across this thing on Facebook and I didn't post it, but I was thinking about it because I was like, oh my God, I feel like this is me. I have to find it and read it verbatim. And then one of my friends ended up posting it and I was like, oh, so I'm not alone. I am not alone and other people feel this. It says, I'm so jealous of the people who know how to shut up. I shut up and subtitles come out of my face.
That's true. I love that.
Yeah, I wish I could just be a person. If you're telling me something, I can really be a good actor and be like, you do not even know what I'm thinking based on my facial expressions.
Ooh, like a poker face.
Yeah, I don't have one. I'm not good at poker.
No, it's hard because you're so expressive. That's the Italian in you too. I feel like we're so expressive that how could anybody look at your face? They're going to read it just in my eyes, the way I blink different. They're going to know
Right.
exactly what we're thinking.
All right, so that's something I'm going to work on. Not really having a poker face, but seeing if I can pull a fast one on people.
Oh, like being more mysterious. I tried that when I was younger. I was like, oh, maybe I'll be more mysterious. Nope, that's not the life for me.
Was that when you were trying to get everyone to call you Patricia or Trish?
It certainly was not Patricia that I wanted everyone to call me. Are you kidding?
All right, there was Trish. It was Trish.
Yeah, when I went to college, I was named after my aunt. God rest her soul. She was amazing. Loved her, Auntie Patty.
R.I.P.
However, every time that I would start a new grade in school, the teachers would be like, oh, my best friend is Patty. My name's Patty. Another 60-year-old's name that they know is Patty. So I got sick of it. And then when I went away to college, I moved halfway across the country to go to school in Florida. I just had everyone call me Trish. And it was fine and it worked because there was nobody from my hometown. Family weekend, and my parents came and some of my siblings came, and one of my friends looked at me and was like, oh, I didn't know that you had a sibling named Patty. I didn't know that. Who everyone keeps talking about Patty. And I'm like, oh yeah. So back home, Patricia, my nickname is Patty, and my name here is just Trish. So we're gonna stick with that.
So does anyone call you Trish?
They do.
They still do?
My friends from college, yeah. Yep. And I love it. I love it so much.
Like you're a different person when someone calls you Trish? Does anyone say Trish and you not turn around and answer?
No, if somebody says Trish, I'm like, where are you at? Where are you at? I think my mom was like, Trish is that
slut
rebel. I was thinking rebel.
Rebel. I'll go with rebel.
I act the same. I'm just me. I think in environments, period, when I'm home with my kids, I'm completely different than on a girl's day out. Or if I'm teaching at the gym and I'm at work, I'm completely different than if you catch me and my friends on our date nights with our husbands at the restaurant on a Friday night. Like, we're completely different people. I let different parts of me shine.
And that's okay. And that's good.
Yeah.
You have multiple personalities, but in a good way. Not like
that is dangerous to say.
Like we need to put you on medication.
I do need medication, but not for multiple personality disorders.
Well, good.
No, recently one of my cousins was like, remember when Patty tried to rebrand herself in college and go by Trish? And I was like, that is so funny. I did try to rebrand.
Yeah. And I remember when our friend circle, there was a few people that tried to get it going. And I was just like, stop. Enough. I can't.
Why? Why were you so angry about it? What's it to you?
When you know, it's like in my cell phone right now, there are certain people that I didn't change their last name to their married name. I know you as that person, right?
How dare they evolve? How dare they change their last name?
It's interesting to say the least, or really stupid. Maybe it's just laziness. Like, you're already in my phone. I'm not going to go back and edit your last name. Again, I don't have children, but like when I'm thinking about if I ever had children and I had to pick children's names, my kid would probably be nameless for a very long time, because anytime I like a name, then I have to think. And I have to think about, who do I know that has that name and do I like them? Mm-hmm. Or if you shorten that name and people call them that,
is it awful?
Is it awful?
Is it going to scar them for life?
Yeah. I was obsessed with the girl's name Quinn, and I love that name. And then brother-in-law, sister-in-law named their cat Quinn.
What?
So they ruined it, because not only do I hate cats and severely allergic to cats, but then they go and name their cat Quinn. I didn't really have that problem because I never had a kid to name Quinn.
Yeah, how dare you not call dibs on the name Quinn before you even got pregnant? How dare you not? You should have. No, that is funny. I hate when people are like, oh, my dog's name is Theo and my son's name is Theodore. And I'm just like, cool. Good name.
Yeah, that's what my husband goes. I feel like we should normalize people naming their dogs real people's names. And it's like, no, we don't need to normalize that. That's why Fluffy and Barky and Penny and
Sparkles.
all
Yeah.
those names were meant for dogs or animals. And then
Yeah.
there's human names.
I think people think they're so funny. And to be honest, I do think it's funny. One of Mike's friends, she's so funny. And she named her dog, I want to say Walter. And I was like, are you kidding me? That is iconic. That is so funny.
Does she dress him up in tuxedos?
No, I
That would even
wish.
be funny. Here, meet my
Maybe.
dog, Walter. He dressed up for you
Maybe.
today.
I like long classic names for when I like embroider their backpacks or
Yeah, they're not
anything.
going to get beat up in the schoolyard with their embroidered name on their backpack, Mom.
It's the thing. It's the thing that kids do.
Oh, that's what they do now?
Well,
Do you write their name in their underwear?
no.
No? Okay.
Underwear.
Do you write their names on their socks?
Oh my gosh, no. They get like holes in their socks in a day. You see my kids running around in the street. I'm like, put your shoes on. This is why you have holes in your socks. No, write names on everything. Water bottles, yes, because we take water bottles everywhere. Isn't it cool? Do you
Water
remember
bottles make sense.
Do you remember when we didn't have water bottles and we just did plastic everything?
Yeah.
I remember being in college and I started having a Brita purifier in my fridge. And I just thought I was so ahead of the times with my water bottle because I refused to use plastic because it was when I lived in Florida and the heat would somehow get plastic in. I don't know. My dad sent me an email once and it stuck with me. I was
Yeah,
like,
the BPAs and then the heat
yes,
like breaking
causes
the plastic.
cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I switched over rapidly after I got his email. And yeah, now nobody ever has plastic water bottles unless you're at a party or something.
Right. And then most people waste them. That's one of my pet peeves. That's why
The
if I
full
post
water.
a party, you have to buy the mini ones because no one drinks a full water bottle.
Mhm.
And then at the end of the party, you're throwing away full water bottles.
Yep. I hate that.
Yeah. That's just,
Such
again,
waste.
etiquette. Just be conscious of what you're doing, especially if you're at somebody else's house and they purchase this stuff for you. Wasteful. And that's another thing. You go to a party, drives me crazy. People don't throw out their plates. They
No.
just leave them as
It's
if
hilarious.
you have a butler or a maid coming by and picking up your stuff. This is not a zoo. I am not your mother. Pick up after yourself.
I love that though, showing everyone your true colors. Unless you have a child and they are like running toward danger and then you have to leave your plate. I understand that because I go to a lot of kids' parties now. But other than that, absolutely no excuse for your plate and your napkin to be crumpled up and sit there. That, putting away your cards. When people don't put away their cards, I'm always like,
Drives me crazy. And
why wouldn't you?
I saw this guy on Instagram. There was this lady, got the stuff out of her cart, put the cart next, I think it was like behind her car to the left or something. And so the guy came up to her, was like, "Oh, are you done with the cart?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I'll take it." And he moved it right behind her car. I was like, I wish I had enough balls to do that. But come on, how lazy have we gotten? If you can't put your cart back, then you are the people that should do curbside pickup.
Yeah. But also, I do curbside only, almost exclusively, and I love it. But I would never not put my cart back. With 3 kids in tow, with a dog, with whatever, I would always make sure to walk my cart back. It's not that hard.
No, not only is it just like rude
So
because
rude.
of the workers.
Well, and what if a gust of wind comes
Exactly.
and shoves it into somebody's car?
Exactly.
That's now your problem, and that's so rude.
But people are just, doesn't affect me.
Well, you know what? I hope that all of us here listening can do a little bit better and do our part to make parking lots all over the world a little bit safer and our carts where they belong, in the corrals.
I'm just going to keep going. If you are a person that drives in the left lane on the expressway and don't do at least 10 over the speed limit, get the hell out and get to the right lane, please. I drive for a living, so it's very irritating when you're doing below the speed limit or I'm blocked in on the left lane and the middle lane because you guys are going the same speed and I can't get around you. So please be aware. Get off your phone. You don't need to be on your phone on the expressway unless you are on a mission to kill yourself.
Exactly.
Keep traffic moving.
Move it
Bottom
along.
line. Bottom
Move it
line.
along. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a different sort of situation, I want to talk about something that happened to me yesterday. I was walking into a building with my child, and he was cold because it was a little bit windy yesterday. So I was holding him like a baby, and we're walking, and he's so cute. Obviously, my hands are full, and we get to close to the door, and there was an older woman walking out, and she saw me like 10 feet away. So I'm coming up. I didn't even notice she was doing this, but she waved to make the automatic door open, and it opens and it'll stay open. And she did that just for me to walk
Aw.
in. It was so nice. And this woman actually was going to her car and then coming back in the building. I saw her then later in the locker room. And when she walked past me, I was like, thank you so much. I noticed that you just took the time to open that door for me and you did not have to. And that was so nice. And it stuck with me all day. Just that tiny little act of kindness. It was so random and even something that maybe I wouldn't have noticed, but it was so appreciated.
Yeah, I guess that's a reason why people are assholes. So we also can really feel good about the good people. Because if
Yeah.
everyone was good, we wouldn't know the difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, assholes, for being assholes, because now,
I appreciate the nice old people that hold doors for me.
yeah, it's not even that. Okay, I do a lot of walking. And the amount of people I pass a day that I say hello or good morning to that don't reciprocate and don't say anything, don't even smile, it's actually super sad.
I'm sorry. Did I miss? Where are you doing this?
Walk to the grocery store or walk to the
Aw,
gym,
that's so
you say
nice.
hi to people. Like you
I
make
know.
eye contact. Like how awkward is it to make eye contact with somebody and then they don't say anything to you?
I'll give a soft smile, but I don't know if I say hello to complete strangers often. If
Well,
they say
try
hi,
it. Try it. Just try it. I feel like it makes you feel better. It makes you feel connected.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's really sweet. Oh my gosh, time is
Yeah.
flying. We want to hear your questions and what you want to hear about in an episode. Sometimes when I look through podcasts, they have episodes like the description is in the title of the episode. We do something different. We use song titles that relate to either our day, our mood, or our content in our episode. And it could maybe be a little confusing for listeners, but also that's us trying to be mysterious. Okay. We're working on being mysterious and not giving everything away by one
Yeah.
look.
Sometimes I feel like even if you read the title and you're like, oh, I don't think I'm going to be down with this topic. And then you don't listen because of the topic.
Sure.
But if it's intriguing, what do they mean by good luck, babe?
You know what I love about that is because we talk about how people that don't think they're crazy are usually the crazy ones. So if it was like, if we titled the episode, How to Be a Better Person and How to Not Be a Jerk out in public, the jerks wouldn't listen. But since we don't do that and we do song titles, now they're like roped in. They're never going to seek out the advice, but we're going to slip it in the middle of some laughs. And that's how we're going to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
So do us a favor and share this with your favorite jerk.
And if you were sent this,
subtly just say, oh, this was a really good episode. They agree with us about the carts. And then, everything else we throw in there about this asshole doesn't clean up his plates when he's at my house. Or
yeah.
my other pet peeve is when you're hosting and you make a bunch of appetizers and then there's plates for people to take the appetizers and put it on their plate. But no, they want to eat over all the appetizers. And that just grosses me out.
I feel like that ended after COVID. Like pre-COVID, you could get away with eating over dishes or like being all gross.
Never in my world. No, I get so disgusted so easily that if you don't make a plate and walk away from the appetizers and you eat over the appetizers, A, I'm not going to eat. And then B, once you all leave, I'm throwing everything out.
You have an appetizer zone at your parties? Your parties sound real fun, Danielle.
The island, you get it and you go.
If you have chairs at the island, we're sitting there.
I remove the chairs.
Oh my God, you went so far as to remove them?
Yes.
That's
It
amazing.
is not, it's only a place to sit when there's a few people there. When you are entertaining or having a party, you remove the chairs because then that's like a buffet station.
That is so funny.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, if it gets the job done.
It does, but it doesn't.
Maybe whoever's listening now, if you go to Danielle's party, read the rule book, find the Google spreadsheet first. of her etiquette policies.
Scan the QR code and sign that states you agree with all the rules.
Or I bet that's your last party if you don't do it.
That was the Friends episode where I think it was Thanksgiving and Chandler's like, let's use the china. And Monica's like, oh no, let's save it for a special occasion. And he's like, Thanksgiving's not a special occasion. And he's like, oh, you're like, what? Are you waiting for like the queen to come over and eat? She's like, well, yeah. And then she's like, isn't it fun to eat? And she wanted everyone to like hold the food up and like cut it in the air so no one like scraped the plate. She's like, see guys, isn't this fun?
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm
You're borderline.
not as crazy.
You're too fun to be like that borderline OCD crazy person, but it is funny to hear things that upset you because they really upset you. Breathing, chewing.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
So again, I know things like the one episode we put out and I was talking about whatever my pet peeve was or whatever I was saying. I got a lot of text messages being like, I could have swore your pet peeve was going to be noises and chewing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, my poor niece probably never wants to hang out with me because every time I'm with her, I'm like, chew with your mouth closed. I don't need to hear you. I can see you eat. I don't need to hear you. And so now she does it on purpose. She'll come and eat an ice cream cone or a sucker right next to me, and then she'll just look at me and laugh.
That's what kids are the best at doing, pushing those buttons, making you feel like you are going to explode.
So please comment on this episode and let us know what your pet peeves are. See if I can add some of your pet peeves to my list. Or let us know topics that you're interested in hearing us dive deep into, because our brains are always going, but we also want to relate and connect with you guys and see
what's wanted.
Or not wanted.
Yeah, now we just open up a can of worms. What do you guys like and dislike about the podcast so far? So let us know.
Yeah, we're in this to win this, and we're going to keep going until someone literally tells us we suck. If we get a lot of people telling us we suck, then we'll stop.
Will we?
Would we? I was just trying to be nice.
I feel like we have way too much fun hanging out together.
For sure. But I did say I want people out there, like maybe you know Patty really well and you don't know me, or you know me very well and you don't know Patty really well. We really want some constructive criticism. We want your feedback. We want to make sure that we're not just talking for the people that know us, because I feel like so many people are like, oh my gosh, when we're listening, I feel like I can answer you guys and talk. And I'm like, is it because you know us, or is it because of how we're putting our content out there that you feel like it's so relatable that you want to dive in? Are we talking about real things? Are we talking about surface level things? Do you think we should dive deeper? Do you want to hear more? Do you want us to get really crazy and tell you our deepest, darkest secrets and our deepest, darkest thoughts? We want to know what works for you.
Our diary entries.
Yeah. What makes you get up on a Monday morning saying, I have to hit play? I want to know.
I know. I love Monday mornings, release days, but I also just love hanging out with you so much. Thank you so much for listening. This has been awesome.
Thanks, guys. And again, we're going to keep being us so you can keep being you.
Woo!
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.